Boss, is that really Metropole out there?
It must be.
But it's so brown.
I'd say it's more red than brown.
Whatever it is, it brings new meaning to rust and ruin. Boss, the energy sensor is going crazy.
It's coming from the top of that tower.
Boss? Is it supposed to be doing that?
Assad.
Well, at least we know there's a lot of power in that tower, right?
Let's go find out.
Welcome to Metropole, the city of glass and light.
Can you tell me?
This one is not programmed to respond to queries. Welcome to Metropole, the city of glass and light. Metromine greets you with open arms and the promise of energy and shelter. You are safe. Records indicate an outstanding assessment of 5 megacycles. 1 megacycle will now be redeemed.
What did you just do to him?
This one is not programmed to respond to queries. Unauthorized literature detected.
Let go of him! Hey!
All contraband has been removed. You are safe.
Boss? Boss, this is getting to be a bad habit. Are you okay?
I'm fine. My optical sensors went haywire for a minute. What happened?
Well, that robot threw your gospel off the bridge. And then it said, "Welcome to Metropole." Again. And that Metromind wishes us a pleasant stay. Then he left.
Assad.
On the upside, he gave us back the power core.
He did?
No.
Crispin, the next thing that's getting thrown off this bridge is you.
Good thing I have a hover unit.
Let's go find a way into that tower. We'll deal with this Metromine later.
Hey, Tyra, over here. Hiya, Tyro. You blow in off the dunes?
Tyro?
Prefer a newbie, huh? Look, let me tell you how it is.
How about you don't? I've had enough of this city already. All I want is my property back and a ticket home.
Ticket home? Fat chance, Tyro. Anyway, listen up. You wanna sell yourself to Metromine? Go ahead. You wanna trade that junk you brought in from the dunes? Leopold's your man. That floater there, I'll give you something special for him.
How special?
He's not for sale. The only thing you might have that I want is information.
Well, you know what they say. Talk's cheap. That's the way.
Who are you?
Name's Leo. Leopold Steeplebuilt, version 7. You?
Horatio No-Built, version 5. And this is Crispin Horatio Built, version 1.
Leopold? Hey, you didn't build a lunatic named Ever Faithful, did you?
Do I look like I'd build someone named Ever Faithful Crispy?
Crispy?
What are you selling?
Bartering, not selling. Metromine don't tax bartering. Not yet, anyway. Come take a look. That's a water chip. Scavenger brought it in from the dunes. I traded for a gek.
A what?
Never mind. We don't need water, let alone a water chip.
Now that's a nice one. It's called a memory access device. Lets you pull memories out of just about anything.
What do you want for it?
Got a customer looking for something real antique and fancy. Find me that, you got yourself a deal. That old boy's a plug board, a breadboard.
I know what it is.
Okay then. Bring me something that'll cover a face and it's yours.
Good idea, Leopold. You'd look much better with a mask.
Watch yourself, Chrissy.
Anyway, we don't have time to go around building circuit boards.
Famous last words, boss.
That servo unit is hopelessly broken.
It just needs a little fixing up, Tyro.
I don't think so.
That's a fine tool. Got a half-life of 1,000 years guaranteed.
I'm not sure you know what half-life means.
You want it or not, I'll trade it to you for something shiny.
Boss, is that another battery?
Looks like it.
Finest AA battery you'll ever see. May as well call it AAA, it's so fine.
Wow, that would have been useful to have before I went rummaging around a pile of tires in the junk pile. Now, not so much.
One fine motor you spotted there, Tyro. Foreign built, out of Sevilla's. Can't do better. But if you can find a bigger one, let's talk.
Hey, look, boss, it's a glass finger. If we got 5 of them, I could have a hand.
What would you do with a glass hand?
What wouldn't I do?
You want it? You're gonna need to bring me a glass thumb.
Oh, go wipe yourself.
One fine motor you spotted there, Tyro. But if you can find a bigger one, let's talk. This is a Sterling air motor.
Would it help me fly?
Nope.
Then we don't need it.
That there's an old Nova Robotics subsistor coil.
Not interested.
A binary abacus. Finest calculating instrument.
I'm fairly certain that my math coprocessor is superior.
Ah, good spot there, Tyro. She's a fine micro fuel cell.
What's the catch?
Well, she's drained.
I guess that makes it free of charge.
We'll pass.
This here's a tape measure.
Ooh, get it, boss, get it!
Why do we need a tape measure?
So I can finally determine my circumference.
Tyro, I'm gonna do us all a favor and not trade you this one.
The entire thing is fried. Actually, wait a minute. The crystal and plug are still intact.
Please, for the love of Ram and Rom, tell me we are not going to build a 3rd energy sensor.
I hope not. Who is Metromine?
Who is Metromine? Russ and Bruin, you are Tyro. Metromine? Well, Metromine is Metropole. Runs everything now. What with the council shut down?
Council?
Sure, a bunch of primordial machines. Arbiter enforced the law. The Warriors kept the records. Big old factor built just about everything from down in the underworks. And, well, there's another one, I think. Don't even remember his name. And Metromine, of course. She used to run the trains, but now she's got the whole show.
Where can I find her?
Like I said, Tyro, she is the city. So you found her already. Probably locked yourself to her just to get here. Anyway, if she wants to talk to you again, you'll know.
I was robbed when I came off the train. Some robot paralyzed me and stole my Gospel of Man.
Careful there, Tyro. If you read the rules, you'd have known Metromine don't take kindly to superstition. Under the refuge rule, you got 2 days to talk about make-believe man all you want. But actual writing about man, that gets tossed to the underworks with the rest of the trash and trouble.
How can I get it back?
Ha! Your risk inhibitor flaking on you, Tyro? You'd have to do some digging down in the underworks, which ain't exactly easy. Then, even if you find it, you'll just be sticking your finger in Metromine's socket. Like I said, she's got no time for heretics, lunatics, and the like.
How about quick-witted levitators?
Don't think she cares for them either.
I'm looking for my power core. It was stolen from my ship, the Unique, and I think it's being kept in that tower over there.
Great tower, you mean? Sure, it's probably in there, along with all the other generators and reactors and cores that keep the lights on.
How can I get it back?
If Metromine took it, you don't, Tyro. Her word is law. Arbiter's the only one who ever could have said otherwise. He's been gone a long time. Getting to the courthouse, maybe you complete your case. After half a dozen other folks took their turns, that is. But you can't. The old judge locked it up tight. And who's to say you'll win, huh? My advice?
I don't want your advice. I want my power core.
Well then, good luck to you.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has large claws and shoots lasers. Have you seen it? It stole something of mine.
Sounds like Scraper to me.
Scraper?
Worked for Metromine even before she ran the show. He was the one that blasted out the train tunnels under the city.
Where can I find him?
Now, how would I know that? That one goes where he wants. Maybe the Great Tower, maybe the tunnels, who knows? But I wouldn't go picking trouble with him, Tyro. Those lasers Scraper used for cutting granite can slice up that tin shell you're wearing like nothing.
Here, here.
I'll keep that in mind. How do I get into the tower?
You don't. Council members only. And the only ones still clicking are Metromine and Arbiter. And let me tell you, neither of them is one for bending the rules.
Are you sure you don't know a robot named Ever Faithful? He called himself Leo Built.
I'm a peddler, Tyro, not a builder.
What are the underworks?
A whole mess of junkyards, canals, factories, smelters, facade, every kind of heavy machinery, all beneath the streets. Old factory ran the place. Built just about everything in Metropole down there.
Ran the place. Who's in charge now?
Nobody. Not since Metromine pulled the plug on Factor. Whole place is full of junk and full of trouble. Well, for the latter, I'd pick the clean.
Well, boss, at least we can scratch one detour off our list. Seen one junk pile, seen them all.
Tell me about Arbiter.
He's a member of the council. Heard he used to fight with Metromine day and night. Ran the courts, or used to, back when we had him. One day he just sent his clerk Clarity down to the underworks and closed up shop. Ever since, Metromine says what the law is.
How long ago was that?
Who's counting?
You don't believe in humanism?
If you asking whether I believe in man, the answer's no. And you better not either. Not if you want to stay here.
But how can you not believe in man?
I'm a progressive, Tyro. I believe in progress. Us robots improve ourselves. And that's how it's always been. First, there was a basic machine. And bit by bit, bite by bite, the machine built itself into all this. You and me and that little floater of yours, we're all cogs in that same machine. And that's all there is.
Tell me about Clarity.
Clarity was one of Arbiter's law clerks. Real cool and calculating, that one. Once heard say that a robot should have his recharge port fused just cause he'd stolen power from Metromine. Anyway, word was she got in some kind of fight with the old judge and he sent her down to the underworks. Guess she's still down there stewing.
Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look. I'll trade it to you for something shiny.
Here you go. A nice shiny crystal.
And one heavy iron crowbar for you.
Why does that not seem like a great deal?
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
Hey, look, something came out of the machine.
Fine. Put me down for another megacycle.
Hey, boss, look! That repair bot has a floating helper, just like you do.
There's a red, burning, crashed hover bus and a writhing electrical cable. And that's the first thing you notice?
I can't help it. She's beautiful.
Well, you're not getting to her until we deal with this cable. Crispin, can you fly around the cable and push it off the street?
But didn't you just say it's too dangerous to get close to it?
I'm giving you a chance to impress her, Crispin. Just fly up high enough that you don't get close to the sparks.
Fine.
Hey, Crispin, why don't you go talk to her?
What? No way, boss. She's way out of my league.
She's a floating lamp, Crispin. You've never had any trouble with lamps before.
Well, I've never had to talk to one before, boss. Just knock them off ledges. I've got no practice.
Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You do know this ship is never gonna fly again, right?
You're right about that. This old airing bus can hardly fly to begin with. Still, there might be some parts here that Metromine can use to get another bus up and running. Anyway, what do you want?
Hey, boss, ask him about his helper.
What happened here?
What does it look like? The airing bus's motor gave out and it crashed into the only bridge leading from Main Street to the rest of the city center.
Was anyone on board?
Sure, but they've already been salvaged.
Salvaged, not repaired?
Can't repair without parts. You can't get parts without salvage.
What about building new parts?
Yeah, me and what factory? Look, everyone wants to spot bugs, but no one wants to write code. You got a better way to run a city? Go out and build one. Otherwise, get with the program.
You mentioned Metromind.
Yeah, sure. She's in charge of this big circuit board we call Metropole.
What can you tell me about her?
What do I look like? The information kiosk? I want to know what I think? Metromind is the best thing that ever happened in this place.
Really?
Really? You, me, all these other machines grinding about, we're just tools in the toolbox. But Metromind, she's got the master plan. Progress. Got a nice ring to it, too.
So as part of the master plan, crashing buses into roads?
Look, there's plenty of rust to go around, but Metromind's the only one scrubbing. Not her fault that some of the metal's too far gone.
It looks to me like you're the one scrubbing, not Metromind.
Like I said, I'm just a tool in the box. Now, I gotta get back to work. You again. What do you want?
Since you're so close to her, do you know how I can talk to Metromind?
Ha! Talk to Metromind. Look, Metromind has an entire city to run, but her eyes and ears are everywhere. If she wants to talk to you, she will.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has big claws and shoots lasers.
Scraper. After the last big cave-in, the two of us worked together on trying to fix the blue line. It's on the simple side, but a hard worker. What about him?
He took something of mine.
Yeah, salvaged it probably. That's what most of us do for Metromine these days.
Stole it.
Hey, you say router, I say router. Anyway, not my problem.
Where can I find Scraper?
Do I look like a tour guide? Piece of advice for you. Don't mess with the code if you can't handle the glitches.
Very profound. Do you know where I can find a power source?
If I did, I'd have salvaged it myself and brought it to the tower.
My friend is curious about your helper.
She's just a sidekick factor build. Thousands of them rolled off the assembly line back in the day, but she's probably the only one left. Really not much more than a floating lantern, and headlamps are a lot cheaper.
She says you're not much more than a floating plasma torch.
She's right.
When will the bridge be passable? Soon?
Well, seeing how the last remaining Airbus just crashed, I'd say opening the bridge to pedestrian traffic. So I'd say something on the order of a month, give or take.
A month?
Give or take.
And there's no other way off Main Street?
Not unless you got a jetpack hiding under that jacket.
Well, at least that narrows our options down, boss.
Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Crispin, how about practicing on this lamp?
Oh, good idea. Okay, here goes. You really light me up.
No.
Okay. Trust me, I know how to turn on a light.
Definitely not. Okay, that's enough practice for now.
Ahoy, my dear friend. Oswald Factorbuilt at your service.
He's no more your dear friend than Rex is your creation, you besotted dear oiler.
Oh, don't mind Cornelius. He's been bitter since the first great rolling brownout.
What Better, I'll show you better, you backbiting bot snatcher.
I think I like these guys, boss.
What's in that building?
Why, Arbiter's Court, of course. Why else would we be here?
I need to see Arbiter.
We all do, my dear friend. But the courthouse is locked, and first come, first served.
Why are you waiting in line?
Justice. I'm here for justice. To prove that I, Cornelius Factorbuild, created this marvelous machine, Rex. Rex Cornelius built.
Ignore him, my dear friend. Candidly, he is 1023 flops short of a kilo, if you catch my drift. The machine's name is Oswald Built. Rex Oswald Built.
This is over a name? Why not just let Rex decide?
Ridiculous. This is about principle.
This is about pride.
So, boss? Would you fight over me like this?
You could call yourself Crispin Crispian for all I care. As long as you still pull things off ledges for me, that is.
Glad to know I'm loved.
How are you going to decide who gets Rex?
For the law, fool. The law.
Please excuse my brother. He can barely remember pi to the 23rd digit, let alone his manners.
For...
I rest my case. Suffice it to say, old chap, we await the reopening of the courthouse. Or more precisely, we await a summons from Arbiter who will decide our case.
Who will say whose contribution was more important? Who will say, in fact, that my contribution was more important?
Could someone else judge your case?
Of whom were you thinking? Metromine, perhaps? Authoritative to be sure, but I fear she could claim Rex for the good of all.
And since the subway schemer
He means Metromine.
shut down our builder Factor, he cannot help either.
What about Horatio?
Who?
Me.
And why should we listen to you?
I've built a robot before, and I have no stake in this.
Yes, well and good, but this is a matter of law and logic. A bit harder than banging together a tin can like your companion. How can we know your reasoning is sound?
Test me.
An interesting proposition. What do you say, Cornelius?
What do I say? I say that you are a liar and a thief, Oswald. But as to this Horatio, well, as to him, so be it.
Boss, if they make us find 7 lost crystals, I'm quitting.
Shh.
Righto. Consider this. At the binomial...
The what circle is gathered at the what?
I said quiet.
Each robot is either a factor built or a stern wire built.
Blasted stern wireless.
And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad core